Hi, I'm Dr. Emily Holt, and I'm an archaeologist. I am currently a researcher at Cardiff University, but I work in Sardinia. And Sardinia is a big island in the middle of the Mediterranean, and it's part of Italy. And as an archaeologist, I have a lot of tools that I use. I have, for example, my enormous hat. As much as I love Indiana Jones, the only realistic thing about Indiana Jones is his hat. We do need really enormous hats to keep us safe from the sun. And I have things like scale bars for when I take photographs of artifacts and when I take photographs of the architecture that I find. But probably my most important tool when I'm out there is the language that I speak. I speak Italian. I speak Italian now anyway. When I first started working in Sardinia, I didn't. And I went over and started my own project in a small town in the middle of Sardinia, only about 600 people. And really the only person who spoke any English at all was the one guy who worked at the coffee bar. So I was out there in the middle of nowhere with a team of 3 Italian workers, and I had to tell them how to excavate all by myself in Italian. I didn't study Italian in school, and so it took some real learning on the ground to be able to communicate. Fortunately for me, though, I did take Latin, and Latin's kind of a funny one because who even speaks Latin? How is that useful? But it turns out that it's very related to Italian, so it was extremely helpful in me learning Italian when I was out there in the field and had to know it to do my research. And also, learning any language helps prepare your brain for the acquisition of any new language. It just helps you understand linguistic structure. So I found that because I had studied Latin, I was able to pick up Italian pretty fast. And by the end of that first 3 months, I was able to tell my researchers how to dig and what to look for and how to do archaeology on the ground. So that was a really exciting experience. And now I speak Italian pretty fluently, and it's a wonderful part of my life. I can communicate with my Italian friends, I can send them text messages, but I can also then email my colleagues and conduct my research. So I'm super glad that Italian is now one of my great archaeological tools.